What up, hero? Is Rasta. Listen, I want to talk to y'all today real quick about how to complain, right? The right way and why you should actually complain more, right? This coming from a person who, over the last few years, probably the last 5, 6 years, I've developed the habit of never really complaining, right? Like it's rare that you see me complaining about anything, right? When it comes to relationships, when it comes to how hard life is, like I don't just walk around moping and complaining all the time. It's just, I'm not known for that, right? I'm human. So there are times when I do, but it's so small, you would never remember me for that. But I want to tell y'all why this is a problem, right? And I'm learning that this is not necessarily a good thing that I do, right? So a lot of people think is either two things you can do in life. You can either walk around complaining, whining, and blah, 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 moping all the time, being negative, or two, you don't never say nothing. You just keep it all in. You just keep it all to yourself and you handle it like a man, right? Like a superhero. You got this. But what I want to tell y'all is what I'm realizing as I get older, and my wife is also helping me realize this, is bruh, you got to get it out one way or another, right? So my default was, okay, I need to start getting it out because what happens is it builds up. And over time, guess what? It's going to find its way out one way or another, right? It's like a dam, right? And then you got water constantly hitting it. Eventually the water is going to break through or overflow. So it's the same thing. And what normally happens is when you blow up, right? You know exactly where I'm going with this. When you blow up, it's never good. It's usually never good. It's usually destructive. And it usually happens on the people that's closest to you, the ones that you love the most. Because they're the ones that's around you, right? Your family, your brothers, your sisters, your wife, your kids, your husband, right? They're the ones that spend the most time with you. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to be the one that become victim to you blowing up. Right. And that's happened plenty of times in my household. I'm not saying me and my wife don't have problems and issues that we both need to work on. I'm not saying that, but for the most part, how we handle them is never good when I'm blowing up. It's never good. It always leads to a big fight. We don't really get nowhere that way. So I'm here to tell y'all that that is not the solution, right? Like if you read the title, I'm saying how to start complaining, and I'm like, stop whining, because whining isn't the solution either. And I'm gonna get into that. But suppressing all your emotions is also not the solution, right? I'm just letting you know that now is not the solution. I don't care how tough and rugged and alpha you think you are. Even all the alpha people you follow, go watch them on the podcast and tell me if they not venting. Tell me if they not complaining. Right? I seen Kevin Hart on Joe Rogan podcast. I'm not saying he was complaining, but he was expressing himself. He was talking about the struggles he go with being Kevin Hart, the struggles, the amount of work that he got to put in, the criticism that he deal with, right? So he's very successful, but he's not a human being that just never say nothing about nothing, right? That's what I'm learning. That's not what it's about. The most alpha people you follow, go watch a podcast, right? Eric Thomas, he be in there, he be going in on podcasts, but he just expressing himself. So my point is, I want to give y'all 3 reasons why, besides everything I just said, I want to give y'all 3 reasons why you need to complain, and I'm also tell you how to do it. So stay for the end of the video. I'm gonna talk more about how to do it, but first I want to give you 3 reasons why you should complain more. One, it stop you from harboring feelings, like I was just talking about. It stop all these emotions from building up, right? Building up and leaking out in a negative way, leading to destruction of relationships, leading to you blowing up on your boss, right? Hey, you blew up on your boss. Now you ain't got a job. Now you got to go find a new job. And you start realizing this is life. This is me dealing with humans. So either I got to learn how to get my feelings together or I ain't going to never have a job. That's why some people go from job to job. They blow up on the boss all the time because they don't know how to express their feelings. They're complaining in the wrong ways, right? Two, positive complaints. So I wrote down positive complaints. But so two is when you start learning how to complain more, right? Which is what I'm gonna get more to, you start realizing that all complaining ain't bad. There's a thing called constructive criticism, right? There's a thing called constructive feedback, right? So, and that is a form of complaining. right? Think about it. If I tell you, hey, bro, I love you, we got a great relationship, man, but it's just times where I just feel like you don't listen really, or you just always going on your own thoughts and you don't really consider what I got to tell you. And that's why I think you going through a lot of stuff that you're going through. Boom, constructive criticism, constructive feedback. I just complained to you, something I dislike, but I came to you in a way that you might be more receptive to it, right? So that's what it's really about. And also, I got it out of me. I didn't harbor it and let it build up. So over time, I don't vent and blow up on you, right? That's why it's called venting. You letting out that heat, that hot harbored emotion that you haven't let out in a more cool way, right? So I'm teaching you how to let it out in a more cool way. That's something I'm practicing actively right now. And three, it teaches you how to handle conflict, right? Now, conflict is a dirty word. I know, like the word conflict is just like dirty. Like people just always attach it to negative stuff. But conflict is not always bad. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Actually, conflict is a great thing. Conflict can be a great thing. Who was it? It was Frederick Douglass. He said, "There is no progress without conflict." Right. And he was really the man who got the slaves free, but that's a whole nother thing. Right. But I'm just saying conflict, right, is something we all stray away from. Me, look, I'm not judging you. I avoid conflict. I don't like conflict. I don't like feeling uncomfortable. I know I got you. Right. But I'm learning to lean into it more. And the more you start practicing getting stuff out of you, the negative stuff in a positive way, the more you start learning how to handle conflict in a positive way. Right. Hey, look, you're not gonna have nothing great without some type of conflict. You're not gonna have a great marriage without y'all going through conflict, good conflict. You're not gonna have great relationships with your kids, with your family members. Without, you see family members bicker and fight all the time, but a lot of times it's the negative way. See what I'm saying? It's the negative conflict. And you always doing this, you always doing that, versus us both sitting down and having a conversation. And me just telling you, look, I love you, but, and I know it ain't easy. Look, I know it's not easy. I'm not judging y'all, right? My wife can attest to it. I blew up way more times than I approached her in the right way. I would probably approach her in the right way I could count on one hand, right, up through our few years of being married, right? But how many times have I blew up on her? Shoot, I could count on my fingers and toes, right? So conflict is not bad. So them are three things, right? So you learn how to stop harboring all your feelings, which is great for your mental health and also for the people around you. You learn how to complain in a positive way. If your food, I'll give you another example, something that I don't do, but I'm going to start doing more. You don't like the way your food tastes, or if your food is cold, you can positively complain. Hey, look, everything looks great. Only thing is my food is just a little too cold. Can you please take it to the back and just heat it up just for a little minute and bring it back to me? Boom. Now you got a way less chance of them doing to your food, what keeps us from ever complaining about our food, right? But you learn how to complain positively, giving constructive feedback, right? Somebody asks you for your opinion, you could tell them the good stuff, but you don't want to always just sugarcoat everything to avoid conflict. People need to hear your feedback. People need your criticism, right? You're smart. You see stuff that they probably can't see. You see their blind spots. So people need you to complain. Hey, complain. Like, what am I doing wrong, bro? Tell me. Right. So that's what it all comes down to. So those are the three things. So how to do it, right, is what I promised for the end of the video. How to do it, right? Go through the three reasons I gave you, and just start practicing it in small chunks, right? Start leaning into it just a little bit more. Start starting stuff with people a little bit. I don't like starting stuff, but just a little more, meaning if it's something on your heart that you need to tell somebody, even if it ain't the perfect moment, you need to get it out, especially if it's building up, right? Start practicing positive. Start practicing. This is the main thing. Start practicing turning negative emotions into positive ones. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. I've been going to church. I've been reading the Bible. And one thing I noticed that the Bible talk a lot about is about positive, is about how to kill your demons and turn them into angels, how to take all the negative feeling that you feeling and convert it into positive stuff, not ignoring it. That's the mistake I be making. I ignore my negative feelings, but you don't want to do that. Have those conversations, start practicing it so you can get better. I'm out here, Rose. Look, I hope you enjoyed this video. So yes, start complaining more, just in the right way. Peace out.